Welcome back. This is my custom-made everyday carry pocket tool pouch. I've designed it about 2 months ago and I've carried it every day since. So I want to talk and go over all the options and design philosophy that I've put into this. If you followed my channel at all, you know I really love my Leathermans, especially this custom modded Leatherman Surge with the hammer multi-tool end and my Magna Cut blade, and I really love this. And no doubt, while this is an incredible tool, um, more than a few times now, I found that I wish I was able to use a screwdriver and the pliers at the same time, or someone came up to me asking me to borrow scissors, but I couldn't give them my multi-tool because I needed the bit driver or the pliers myself at that moment. So often, even though this has like 20-in-1 tools, it can only ever really be one tool at a time. So I've started wanting to carry multiple tools at once. Enter the tool pouch. I don't like most of the pocket tool pouch options available. I don't want to have to open up zippers or fold something open. I want things readily available to be able to take out immediately. I don't want to be fiddling with anything. I designed this pouch around fitting 4 basic tools, which are a set of pliers, my lollipop bit driver with double-sided bit, some basic scissors, and a pen. And I think these 4 categories of tools probably covers about 90% of everyday carry tasks you'd encounter within reason. The scissors, for me, cover most cutting tasks that I need. The majority of the time I'm looking to cut something, I reach for scissors and not a knife. I think for everyday carry, a good pair of scissors is more useful overall than a knife. And I'll die on that hill. If you decide, if you have a different opinion, that's fine. But I believe scissors for everyday carry are more useful. Feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comments. I have a generic pair of medical scissors here. Might not be for you. I think a pen is a no-brainer for everyday carry. Marking things, signing things, writing quick notes. I choose the Bic 4-in-1 pen. And a small screwdriver is a no-brainer. It needs to have a Phillips 2 and a slotted 6 to cover most situations I encounter. And a set of pliers is a must. I had 5 rules for the design of this pouch. Number 1, it has a few parts to it. The first is that the tools have to be able to slide in and out with relative ease while not falling out very easily. The next part of rule number 1 is that the pouch needs to fit most pocket types of the clothes I own, either in either of the front side pockets or the back pocket, and preferably I'd have to be able to slide the tools in and out while this is still in my pocket. The pouch overall, the whole construction of this needs to be rigid enough that it won't pile up or bunch up in my pocket or fall over in my pocket like so, but flexible enough that it will conform to my leg and it won't be uncomfortable to hold in my pocket for long days. It has to hold these 4 core tools that I've already discussed. Number 4 is that it should be able to hold a variety of different brands of different types of tools I want to carry. So if I want to have different pliers, this pouch in the back there should work for multiple different types of everyday carry pliers. And this should be able to accommodate multiple scissors, multiple different types of pens, with the exception of the fact that I'm probably always going to be using this bit driver. I just love the 7-Eleven Lollipop bit driver that much that I can't see something replacing it. But that being said, if something could, it has that pouch to do so. Now, to give you an idea here, banana 4 scale, please subscribe. So now the solution to all my problems and the materials that I chose here. I didn't choose leather because I don't have time to learn leathercraft. In the future, I likely someday will. But for now, I'm stuck to a craft I have basic understanding of, and that's sewing. So for the materials, I went with 3mm thick felt for the body of it, as well as where the everyday carry pliers need to go. There's 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters for a total of 6 millimeters of felt. This thick felt wears really well and it has a mild stretch to it. You can actually see the indent of the pliers after 2 months, and it's actually wearing really nice. And it will conform to the pliers relatively quickly, but it won't stretch more than that. And it's also rather sturdy and rigid, so it sits well in my pocket. And the felt actually has a little bit of a sort of stickiness to it when you put it against other materials. So it actually sits in your pocket really, really well. I made sure that the plier pouch can fit all the everyday carry pliers I like to carry. Right now, I'm mostly daily driving these Knipex 145 combination needle nose, um, but I often switch them out. Sometimes I'll do some flavor of other Knipex. Here's the Cobra 150s, and these guys fit just fine. Um, if I want to do the Cobra 125s, they will fall slightly inside, but you can see here, they're actually really easy to get out. Maybe I want to carry two work pros. It's not as great as the other options, but you can do that. It's a little harder to get the one out, but not a deal breaker. Um, I have these cool IPS Diamond Vise mini pliers, which are some incredible pliers I will get to reviewing eventually. Slip joint pliers. Um, they can fit in there as well. Another really cool kind of everyday carry tool if you want to use it. That can fit in there as well. Even slightly larger pliers like these lobsters that I've reviewed before, they will stick out quite a bit more, but if you have deep pockets, this might not be a problem. I mean, here is the Knipex 180 plier wrench, and they will also fit in there relatively well. Of course, there's a lot of plier coming out, but if you have deep pockets, it's a pretty cool idea. For the pockets and top layer material, I went with a 13-ounce waxed canvas. The pockets on the top are double layered for added durability, and I kept the edges, as you can see here, unfinished because as they kind of peel off, they will eventually stop peeling and create this sort of white little border that's going to look really good over time. I left the top layer right here a bit open so that it can accommodate certain larger pens or flashlights in a certain way. So for example, if I don't want to use this, if I want to use my Olight O pen, you can see here when I put it in there, it is fully in and I can't engage the clip. But if I stick it in like that, I can stick it in through that little opening that I made right there, and now it's really secure. This can also fit if you don't want to carry a pen and you want to carry a flashlight. This is the Woobin PL01, and it actually holds that really, really well. And I even have my Olight IR2 Pro, and if you keep this little guy on there, you can use that way if you like. I'm likely never going to carry a flashlight with this, but one other option if you want, instead of the scissors, is you can take a flashlight and stick it down in that way if you don't want to carry your scissors. For the scissors, I'm using these generic medical scissors that I like. They have a pointed tip that you can really poke into something if you need it, or they have that if you're cutting on something you don't want to mar or hurt. That's great. But I have a bunch of other scissors. In fact, I have probably too many other types of scissors. And I want them all to be able to fit in here. There's some that don't fit very well, but I can kind of make it work, like the Fiskars travel scissors. It's a little tough, but I can make them fit in there. There are these Westcott titanium ones. They're a little troublesome, but I can get them to fit in there. I have these other kind of medical scissors that are very generic. They fit in there. Um, Here are some sewing scissors that you use up here like this for little precision tasks. A lot of people overlook these, but these are actually relatively really good everyday carry scissors. And guess what? They can fit in there. Um, Here are mustache trimming scissors. And again, these make surprisingly good everyday carry scissors. They fit in there. Um, And of course, the one of the best everyday carry scissors you can get, which is these are the Klein Heritage 100 CS. They fit in there if I want to. Um, and then finally, like if I wanted to, let's say instead carry a second pair of pliers, here are some hemostat pliers. They fit in there just fine. But then I also have these Dr. Slicks that will fit in there just great. Now this bit again, as I mentioned in the review for these, it will sort of slice your hand, so be careful. But I made sure that I had options with this pouch. And as well as if you don't want to carry scissors in this pouch, I've already showed how you can hold a flashlight, but if your pocket knife can also clip on there relatively well. And now, again, for the screwdriver right now, and probably forever, I'll be carrying the 711L Lollipop bit driver. I love this thing. This double-sided bit adds a little bit of length, and it's just great. I got this guy from a Vessel Stubby double-sided screwdriver, and I just took the bit out for this guy. It's really fantastic. It works for so many things. When I made this, I actually made a few mistakes, which turned out to be really good mistakes. Because you'll see here, there are little bits here which look like additional pouches that aren't being used. And I realized, oh, okay, there's an opportunity there. This pick comes from this O-ring set that screws into this red handle piece and kind of makes like a makeshift pick that resembles like what your dentist uses. Now, without that, with just this little bit, that can actually let me hook things with my hands really well, and it actually slides in right there really well. And because it's so tight, it actually in 2 months, I've not nicked myself on this. Steinwell sent me these long 4-inch bits. I will do a review of these very soon. They are really cool. But they actually slide in really well into these little pouches right here. So that actually adds more functionality. That's really cool. I actually now have additional bits that I can carry. And they look and feel so good with this combination. I also have this tiny pen that I got off AliExpress. It's an okay pen. I was just curious about it. It's apparently titanium. I don't know about that. But if you want to only carry 2 additional bits, you can actually put that little pen in there. So if this is traded out, let's say, for a flashlight, I still have a pen. Finally, there is actually one more kind of happy accident that I designed for another reason that fits something so well. Okay, this is a tool that I found by complete accident, and it's a sleeper tool for sure. This is the Apis Mini Hive tool. This is a pry bar. It's a scraper. It can pry like that as well, depending on what you're opening. It's made specifically for beehive maintenance. Apis is a brand that makes them, but there are several generic versions out there as well. And this thing is great for opening packages. The side here is just sharp enough that I can open a package no problem if I don't want to use my scissors for it. Just the prying and the scraping that I found with this, because it's so thick, it's beefy, this is fantastic, and it's just the right size for your hand that can do so much. I find a lot of the everyday carry prying stuff is really too small or too limited or too thick or just not good in my opinion. This is flawless. Removing gunk off of stuff, by scraping it, prying stuff, opening packages, etc., etc., etc. It's so good, and it fits right there in this other opening that I'd left open for the pen. And yeah, it sticks out just a bit, but I've been carrying this for 2 months now, and honestly, that hasn't annoyed me. I might cut that tip down just a bit just to lower it, but I think it is great. Now, I do have this small little file that will fit in there, and originally that was going to be one of the things that I was thinking about, but I'm not sure I'm going to end up doing that. I wish that I had actually designed this to be able to carry a file. The closest pocket I might be able to do is that one, but you can see here, I just can't make it work. So hindsight is 2020, and this isn't gonna, the file idea just won't work. But this pry bar is awesome. I can't overstate it enough. You guys are sleeping on these mini beehive maintenance tools. They are such great everyday carry pry bars. My overall assessment is that I'm super happy with how this pouch turned out. If I were to do it again, I'd probably do it 90% the same. I could have tried a bunch of tool pouches on the market, but I'm good at making things. So I made something that did exactly what I wanted it to do. And the mistakes I made along the way actually made it better. I could carry more smaller items in there that I didn't originally intend to carry. So my mistakes were actually welcomed. And I didn't stop to film what I was making, although in the future I'm going to try to start filming the stuff that I make for you guys as I make it. But for this, I just sat down, I figured out the core design rules that were important to me for a product, and I figured out what materials would make that happen, and I made it happen. And if there is some project that you're sitting on right now, go out there, start it. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't worry about mistakes. Okay? Just go do it and enjoy the process. And if you like this video, check out my review on the Leatherman Surge hammer mod here. Thanks for watching.